who is the managing director of a company in Lagos, highlighted how Nigerian manufacturing companies are capitalizing on improved gas supply around Lagos to enhance production amidst frequent grid failures. And as the head of one of Nigeria's largest footwear manufacturers, Wei noted that while manufacturers face various challenges, including regulatory hurdles and economic instability, the most pressing issue remains unreliable power supply, which seems to be a hurdle they are scaling in Lagos State as regards of gas supply to power their businesses. So this morning, I'm being joined by Dr. Femi Egbesola, who is the president of the Association of Small Business Owners in Nigeria. Dr. Egbesola, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So first, how do you feel about the supply of gas to power manufacturing businesses, most especially in Lagos, and what you think the contributing factors are?
Well, for us in business, it is important for us to ensure that we always keep our heads above the water. We always look for whatever will help us to remain in business. With the recent power grid collapse now and again, and with the cost of energy, the best for us is to now look for alternatives. And the best alternative we've been able to come by with for manufacturers now is this gas thing. So gas is now being used to generate for us our electricity, and it has been very helpful and impactful on our sector. For example, it has helped us to save about 60% of our expenses. And at the same time, the cost of energy has reduced by about 40%. And that to us is a big deal. Again, also, you discover that because of the frequent collapse of the energy grid, many of our machines are now being exposed to malfunctioning. Many of them are damaged because of this irregular power supply. With the supply of this gas, it has enabled us to have constant, stable electricity supply, and that has already enhanced our production processes.
So when it comes to supporting the manufacturing industry and other businesses with energy needs, would you say that Lagos has an edge? Because I've actually had conversations with some people saying that even Ogun State has that potential, but we've not seen that being replicated in other states of the Federation.
Well, that's not so correct. For example, in Ogun State, you mentioned gas is now being majorly used by manufacturers in the industrial hubs in the corridor of Ogun State. For example, in Agbara is one of the industrial hubs in Ogun State. The manufacturers there, about 70–80% of the manufacturers there, depend solely on gas. Again, too, we have industrial hub again at Ota. Those manufacturers there depend solely on gas too. So it's not about Lagos alone, but Lagos has the highest number of dependents of manufacturers on gas. And I also believe that this is going to spread nationwide very soon because of the positivity of this new initiative. And again, too, when it comes to gas, it's not just liquefied natural gas that we are now using alone. We have also come to adopt the use of CNG gas, which is also very helpful. Some of us who could not have the fund to now have the plants that can now bring down gas to supply electricity go for CNG gases in a different manufacturing companies that are smaller companies. And that has really, really been helpful to us. One of the things it has also done is that it has helped us to improve the quality of our products. You know, when you're able to bring down the cost of production, you now improve on your quality because you have more fun to do quality products that can now be sold at a cheaper rate. It has also helped us to be able to now be able to create more jobs, because when we have more supplies that are cheaper, more products that are cheaper, we are able to sell more, and that improves our production capacity, and that also leads us to employing more people in the job force. So it's a very good thing. You also know that gas is a cleaner energy. We don't need to begin to buy diesel to power generators again and begin to cope with all this emission that comes from time to time, carbon emission that comes from time to time from diesel-powered generators. So it helps us to go for cleaner energy, and that for us is a good thing for our environment.
Okay, so help us understand. I see a lot of changes are being made now by players within the sector, but help us understand how high energy costs, impact the overall expenses of manufacturers in Nigeria, and that has now given, that initiative to them to change the course.
Yeah, at the moment, energy costs about 40% of our production cost. So when 40% of the total production cost is going to energy, it means that it is a lot. It is a lot. And that's why many of our products are expensive in the market. And we say that it is inflation. It is because cost of production is very high. So for any manufacturer, if you can bring down the giant of the cost, which is electricity, you've been able to do a lot. Now with this gas alternative, we are now able to save 60% of what we spend on energy. And that also is a lot. 60% is a lot. So for us, that is the way to go. For smaller businesses who cannot afford CNG, who cannot afford liquefied natural gas being processed for electricity, they've also gone to look for alternatives too. Many of them are installing solar and renewable energy to power their different small businesses. And that also has reduced cost of production. And that's why you see that at the moment, there's some form of stability in the prices of products in the market. And in fact, some of the products prices are also falling down because our cost of production eventually is now being reduced. So by and large, what we need to do now is to begin to look at how more players can come into the gas sector, because at the moment we have very few major suppliers of gas in the country, and we need more people to come. We also need technology in that area. Very few firms at the moment know about the technology of converting gas to electricity. We need more of that technology, and the technology transfer to our locals too, so that our own people here can learn it and be able to translate it to other smaller businesses that will also need cleaner, more affordable, cheaper energy.
Okay, but then, looking at the fact that it's quite epileptic in terms of gas supply, power supply generally, do you think it will be attractive enough or encouraging enough for investors and players to still want to come into that ecosystem?
Of course, yes. Like I did mention the other time, the epileptic power supply is not good for manufacturing. It damages our machines. It makes us, for us, we are unable to plan for the future projects because we really do not know when there is going to be a downtime again from the national grid. So now with the gas alternative, it's important. It's now easy for us to plan. It's easy for us to know from A to Z what our production process will be, what the outcome will be, because we know that our machine can run as long as we want it to run. And when you have a stable production process, it is easier for you to get investors because your records will be right to be able to also project. And for that, it is also making it very attractive for investors to now put money in the manufacturing sector of Nigeria. Again, to those who also want to invest in this new energy sector are already coming up to show their interest, and we now have a couple of new ones coming up to say, okay, we want to provide electricity for your manufacturing company through our processes because we are already licensed. And that to us is a big deal. So over time, I think there's going to be a major divestment from the national power grid to gas-generated plants. And I think that's the new way manufacturing will go this time.
Okay, so a lot of optimism you've actually shared, while giving your response. But let's just use the CNG initiative as a yardstick. We've not really seen it take center stage when it comes to alternative power for our automobiles. Now, how well and how sure are you that when this new initiative for businesses to begin to power their businesses, looking at alternative sources, would come on board? How well are we sure that adequate provision would be made available?
Well, we want to believe so because the data shows that we've not used up to 30% of our.
I guess that's a technical hitch right there. I would have loved to get a wrap up on Dr. Egbesola's summation as we continue to talk about the issue around gas-powered businesses, not only Lagos, but how to see a replication in Nigeria. Now, maybe we'll continue with our conversation some other time in our subsequent shows on Business Ed, but then I want to say a very big thank you to Dr. Femi Egbesola, who is the president of the Association of Small Business Owners in Nigeria, for sharing his thoughts with us.